She was forged in silence, stripped of her name, given only a number, trained to kill without question. The glowing spine, the horns, the blue skin, everything about her was engineered, auctioned, and feared. But when the mission failed and she lay broken on a backwater outpost floor, it wasn't another order that reached her, it was a hand. A human voice, gentle, defiant of everything she'd been told, whispered, "You don't have to be what they made you." And in that moment, she didn't want to be a weapon. She just wanted to be someone again. She didn't remember the first time they called her Seven Kira, only that her real name disappeared the moment her back began to glow. Her people believed the Spineborn were sacred, but the corporations believed they were profitable. So they took her, too young to fight back, and turned her into something sharp. Her skin turned tough from combat, her thighs strong from endless drills, her body sculpted and built to move fast and kill faster. Her horns, once ceremonial, were reinforced with surgical plating. Her long ears were trained to track frequencies most couldn't hear. They taught her languages, but not words like kindness or safe. Just commands, coordinates, execution orders. She wore short black armor that barely covered her, light enough to move, tight enough to be observed. Her blue skin became just a surface. What they monitored was what glowed under it. Her spine. They wired it, amplified it, fed it energy until it reacted to her pulse. If she panicked, it lashed out. If she got angry, it flared. They called her beautiful only when it suited the buyers. But beauty meant nothing when her hands were always covered in blood. Mission after mission she obeyed, until the ambush on Vega 9 changed everything. She was left behind. Not retrieved. Not worth recovering. A failed asset. A broken weapon. That was how the human found her. He was scavenging the wreck site for scraps when he spotted her, half buried under a collapsed wall, limbs trembling, suit torn across her chest and side, one horn chipped. She didn't speak. Didn't cry. Just stared, waiting to be finished. But he didn't shoot. He knelt beside her, eyes soft, hands empty. "Are you hurt?" he asked. She blinked. No number. No command. Just a question. Her voice cracked for the first time in years. "Why are you asking?" He shrugged gently. "Because you look like someone who's been hurt too much already." She passed out. When she awoke, she was in a cramped med bay. No chains. No cuffs. Just a blanket, a stitched wound on her leg, and the man sitting quietly across the room. "What do you want from me?" she asked flatly. "Nothing," he said. "You're safe here." "Safe," she scoffed. "With a human?" He didn't flinch. "Safer than where you came from." She didn't believe him, but she didn't run either. Her body was too weak, and something in her chest, something buried, wanted to know if he meant it. Days passed. He brought her clothes, not armor, not uniforms. Real fabric. A short fitted top, soft and breathable, that didn't pinch her shoulders. Simple shorts that didn't expose her unless she chose to move that way. She dressed slowly, fingers shaking, like wearing something gentle might break her. He never looked too long. Just smiled and asked if she was hungry. She didn't know how to answer. On the third night, she asked his name. He told her it was Keller. She didn't give hers back. She had forgotten it. "They called me Seven Kira," she said. "Then let's find something real," he replied. "Something you choose." She laughed, sharp and bitter. "You think names fix this?" She turned, pulling her top up just enough to show her spine. It glowed faintly in the dark, pale violet ridges fused to her skin, breathing with her. "They made this," she said. "This isn't me. It's a product." He stepped forward carefully, not touching. "Then let's make it mean something else." For the first time, she didn't move away. Instead, she let him see it. Not the weapon. The wound. From that night on, she trained differently. Not to kill, but to feel herself move again. To stretch, to run, not for survival, but because her body was hers. In the ship's small hold, she danced through old forms, her thighs flexing, her chest rising and falling, her hair tied back loosely to expose the horns she once hid. The spine no longer burned. It shimmered. Keller watched, always from a distance. Never commanding. Just witnessing. When he asked if she remembered anything before the program, she hesitated. "A song," she whispered. "My mother's voice." She didn't say more, but he played soft music through the ship that night, letting her sit in silence beside him. She closed her eyes, letting the warmth fill the cracks in her memory. One morning she woke screaming. A nightmare. The conditioning returning. She bolted for the cargo hold, spine glowing erratically, eyes wild. He found her curled against the wall, whispering, "I don't want to go back." "You won't," he said. Not while I'm breathing. She laughed through tears. You're not strong enough to protect me. Then I'll die trying, he said. That promise undid her. She buried her face into his chest, clutching his jacket like she had nothing else left. I want a name, she whispered. One that's mine. They chose it together, Zara. She said it aloud a dozen times, like casting off old chains. He wrote it on the door of her quarters. She kissed him for the first time that same night, slow, unsure, but real. Their bodies pressed close, his arms around her waist, her spine glowing bright enough to fill the room. She didn't feel like a weapon. She felt alive. They left the sector weeks later. Disappeared from tracking grids. They found a quiet planet, one with lakes and storms and soft soil. She walked barefoot, dressed in what she liked, tight-fitted suits, short vests, clothes that let her feel powerful, not exposed. Her horns were polished now, her ears twitching freely in the wind. She still trained, still dreamed. But she smiled too. One day she traced the scars along her ribs and asked, "Do you see them?" Keller nodded. "Every one. And you're not afraid?" "Only of what they made you forget." She leaned in close, her breath warm against his neck. "I remember now. The name. The first song. The fire. The silence. And the hand that reached through all of it and said, 'You don't have to be what they made you.'" Now she wasn't. She was Zara. She was someone. And she would never be just a weapon again.